Hi there, Riverview Clark here. Today we're switching gears a little bit. I wanted to make a video of how I make my smoked salmon. It's really good. It's on the Charbroil simple smoker, and it's, I don't know, a little bit finicky to use, but we got a good recipe, and it always turns out awesome in the end, and it's almost like a jerky almost, and it's just perfect. So to start, we mix up our curing mixture. 2 cups of brown sugar and 1 cup of kosher salt. These are all very exact measurements. Bingo. And a little bit of pepper. And mix. So when we cure this, we'll be packing it in and letting it sit overnight inside this tray here. We've got 3 fillets, 2 coho salmon and 1 pink salmon fillet, all of which that I caught on the coast of British Columbia, just outside of Prince Rupert, with my friends Chris and Martin. Great times. Always a lot of quality meat coming out of that trip too. So that's all mixed up. Next, you want to kind of rinse everything off, make sure it's super clean, and get all the scales off. We usually end up with a little bit of rib bones in our fillets. So what I like to do is take a pair of pliers, and these are my specific special rib bone plucking pliers that I've designated, and just pull all those rib bones out, and then get the skin off. So we'll rinse these off, pluck all these bones, and then take the knife and separate the skin from the fillet. And just take the knife in between the fillet and the skin and just kind of get her started. And I like to hold the skin down with a fork. Just makes it a lot easier, because holding on to fish skin is no easy task. But it does go pretty easy once you get her going. So then you're left with a nice pink skinless fillet. So these are a little bit bigger chunks, so what I'm going to end up doing here is just kind of getting my curing mixture spread into the bottom of this a little bit. And then we'll just get these I'm going to end up cutting these fillets up a bit because they're a little big, and I want them to pack in there nicely. Nothing crazy. I'll probably cut them again before I smoke them. Get a little bit of paper towel. Just pat these guys down, get them dry. This curing mixture does pull all the moisture out of them, but you don't want it to have to work too hard. Looks like we're gonna have to go double decker here. That way. Nice and dry. So, get those guys in there. And get a little bit of sugar salt mixture packed in around everybody. Nice layer on top before we put these other guys on. Really spread that around. That's pretty good. And get this last guy in there. Yeah. And just cover the rest with more of that curing mixture. And then we'll leave it for, you know, they say you can leave it for 8 hours. I usually leave it overnight. I've gone longer than that. I've gone 2 days. Turns out just fine. So, up to you. Depends how much time you got, I guess. I'm on days off. I got all the time in the world. But get that in there. And then we'll get it covered up. Okay, so this salmon's been sitting for about 18 hours in the curing mixture, and you can definitely see that it has pulled a lot of moisture out of there. Like I was saying yesterday, it's a bowl full of liquid. So from this point, pretty much just want to take these guys, rinse them off, cut them into your desired, you know, bite-sized pieces or whatever, and then we're going to set them on the racks for an hour and a bit. We're going to go for lunch, so it's going to be for a bit. And just at room temperature in the air, and that will get the pellicle film on the outside, and that film is supposed to really get the smoke flavor to stick. So just rinse these off gently. It's kind of funny how hard it gets after all the moisture's out and the salt and the sugar's in, and it just feels like it's going to taste good. So, cut them into some good sized pieces. Again, dry them off. You're going to air dry anyway, but whatever. So I've had these sitting for about an hour and a half now, so they should have a good film of pellicle on them. We are ready to throw them in the smoker. I have turned the smoker on, shoved some chips in there, and just immediately started the smoke cycle on there. With the Charbroil simple smoker, it goes off of internal temperature, and that's not exactly something we need in this process. It's more of a visual and situation. So I'm going to put it in the smoker in these bins, drop it in, have the lid cracked quite a bit, smoke it, have a lot of smoke rolling, and then I mean it's blazing hot outside, so we don't even barely need temperature. I mean the thing is already probably 100 degrees. And yeah, within an hour or two we should have some pretty good smoked meat. So we're rolling some smoke now. I've got the thing set on number 2 here. I think that's beef. I don't know. It doesn't really matter as long as you turn it on. I'm just using the preset settings. I don't really use the app ever. It never really wants to hook up to my phone, so I use the presets and it turns out pretty good. Today I'm going to use the Smokehouse Mesquite Wood Chips. Princess Auto was having a sale, so that's the flavor I like today. And we're ready to drop in. So I usually just prop it up with this receiver hitch block and just let the smoke roll. And usually let the smoke do the curing, and you know, I keep the temperature probe outside so that it's always cool, so that it doesn't, the smoke cycle won't go if the element isn't on. So I leave it open so that the heat escapes, and the probe out so that the smoke cycle will stay on. So we just keep rolling smoke for an hour or two and keep the heat on, and it should be good. So we've got our final product. Now that's just sitting mostly with smoke with that lid open like I was showing. And like I was saying, it's pretty much like beef jerky. This stuff is a little bit softer than usual because I didn't put it on for as long, but it is still super good. I've already tasted. I enjoyed these 2 pieces, and pretty good. So total success again, and hope you can use this information, and hope you enjoy the salmon like I do.